Nisal, there's no voice. Thank you, Nisal, for showing that video. I'm not sure that everyone could hear it, but that was a pretty beautiful video, and I hope you liked it. So, before getting into the cultural exchange part, there's a little history I would like to tell you about. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So before just going into any modern cultural thing, so there's a little bit history I would like to tell you about. So basically, India was discovered 55,000 years ago, but that was just like after Africa that the Indian subcontinent was found. But actual language and civilization came in 9000 BCE. The first urban culture was called the Indus Valley civilization. Just wait a second. Nisal, can you make me the host, please?
Yeah.
Well, everyone knows the meaning of namaste. That is how we greet here in India. In the left side, as you can see, that is our whole map of India, and there's
India can connect so meeting the culture discussion. One attendance බලනවා කියනවනේ. Yeah,
uh,
okay.
you have to pause it.
Sab එක දැම්ම.
Can you mute your
Can everyone see this?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, so on right side, as you can see on the left side, in the red box, so that is where I am, and the red dot is my city, Vadodara. So basically, I can tell that from Gujarat to Sri Lanka, it is almost, I think, 2,200 kilometers. So this is the first urban civilization that I was talking about. It is called the Indus Valley civilization, which was flourished during the 2500 to 1900 BCE, and which is currently now Pakistan and West India. So this was actually the first urban modernization that you can see, which was there in India. Not India, it wasn't India at that time. They had the proper systems and a proper culture and a proper mode that they used to follow, which is now which we have given now as the modern culture. The modern changes that we see here, that was that actually happened in medieval age. As you can see in this map, the India which you can see right now is divided into different parts. So these are the region that was divided among the rulers. Every ruler, the names which you can see like Rajputs, the Bengal, the Bihar, they were all small kingdoms before the when Mughals or British came. Everyone wanted to acquire the core of India, but none had that much power or military strength to come there. So that's why they were always limited to their core language or else the core area. But this medieval time was also a root cause for the growth of caste system that still prevails in India. After much later, that is in 10th century, the Muslim clans, which mainly rule the north, as you can see on the left hand map, they got united with their religion, the practices they do, and the language, and tried to acquire whole north of India and south of India. As you can see, Afghan Empire, and then how it spread through whole of North India, and they are now coming into the central of India. In this map, as you can see, the Mughal Empire has entered. That happened because as you can see in this map of Afghan Empire. So Afghan Empire had this kind of ruling where they tortured people, suppressed people. But the Mughal Empire, they didn't have such code of ethics. They followed a rule, a system, and proper administrative practices in India. And all the Mughals that acquired this land got unified under one flag, brought a centralized uniform rule to actually rule over the country, and also cooperate with the smaller rulers that are already present in India. And in the 18th century, due to commercial and political dominance, there was an increase in European trading companies, and among them was the East India Company. As you can see, the Confederacy part, that was the part they actually which was the part that was ruled by rulers, and the pink part that you can see, the Bengal, and that was the ports which the British Empire actually took over. And on the right hand side the map, you can see how the pink portion, so that is the British Empire rule, actually spread through whole of India. The main reason for them was the overseas trade, the military training, and the technology. But the main reason why they spread is because of the military practices which attracted the Indian elite rulers, and that is also the reason why the company actually took over whole of India in no time. This was the political division of Indian Empire, how the Britishers developed it, like divided it as per their own convenience. The pink portions are I told you before that the regions they have already captured, and the yellow parts that you can see, that were actually the what you can say, the powerful kingdom that still prevailed in India. Everyone knows he is the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, and that is Jawaharlal Nehru. He was our first prime minister for the independent India. Basically, we got our independence in 1947, but India as a self-image, as an independent nation, was declared in 1950 when we had our constitutional book come out, and actually to reach the whole part of India that we have like we are not under any rule, that we are democratic. This was all about the post colonial and colonial period of India. But in this period India uh, but as we now know that India is a mega diverse country and has a cultural history that is over 4500 years old, and it has been ever since growing in art, architecture, literature, and performing arts. apart from the other factors that makes India unique and its cuisine, which is appreciated for its herbs and spices, Indian cuisines is a whole palette flavors that is like spicy, sour, or maybe sweet and hot. It is like you can feel all the flavors and the same time. That is what our makes our delicacy special. But it's not like that our like all Indian foods are spicy. You can actually experience the creamy and buttery texture in North Indian foods, sweet and fermented food in West India, that is where I live, and South Indian food, as I think almost all of you would have known, it is tangy with large amount of coconutty taste. Well, I cannot say much about the religion because what I think is India has all types of religion here, Hinduism, Islam, Sikhism, and everything. We have our diversity in we have our diversity and problems in religion. But when it comes to actually unifying the country, which with the same thing happened in independence, or you can say the resistance wars or any fight against British or Mughal empires, this was something which unified the Indians. That is the tag that they are Indian. And besides having so many religion, they still there's still brotherhood, even though there's a riots and clashes. So this is the best I can say about religion.
Ruti, sorry for disturbing.
Yeah,
There's people in participation list. Can you admit them or can you make me hostile?
yeah. Um, I accepted it. It's okay.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. The basic thing that I said was about India. So now let me tell you something about my state. So my state is on the western part of India, and it is considered as one of the richest state in whole country in terms of standard of living and infrastructure. We have some cities. In the next slide, as you can see, Indus Valley civilization. I already said that it was a part of Pakistan and West India. So, as this was the main reason why we have big centers of trading and lifestyle and culture. That is because the start of urban culture started from West India, and because of this, okay, people are coming. Us and because of this type of cultural, it's not basically cultural. They are people with advanced mind. They actually use their resources and actually tried to build their lives. It is actually believed in India that they were the first people to actually have two-story houses, a proper drainage system, and a proper well structure with clean water in it, not just the dig up in the hole. Apart from these two, there is a different thing for you that I want you to know, and that is that the my state, that is Gujarat, is actually a dry state. So which means that in my state the sale of alcohol is prohibited. Even consumption or anything, it is prohibited. So that is, I think, in 3 to 4 states in India where alcohol is prohibited. This is because of the revolution that started in India, the independence and something. Gandhiji was from Gujarat. You can say many of the revolutionaries which started here were from Gujarat. So at that time there was a rule. Wasn't a rule, just a notion to keep the state alcohol free. And the second picture you can see this, Gujarat is the only home for the Asiatic lion in the world. So not only home, it is basically, we can say that we have only got the right to keep the Asiatic lion. If it is preserved anywhere or kept anywhere, they are directly brought into our sanctuary. It is called the Gir National Park, that is present in south of Gujarat. So that is a whole wildlife, or you can say a whole space created for the Asiatic lions. And if it is found anywhere except that, it is considered illegal, and maybe it is called animal trafficking. And so that is why there's just one reserve for Asiatic lions, and that is present in.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Please mute your mics. Uh,
okay.
yeah, you can
Thank
continue,
you.
Ruti.
Yeah. This is the part of Gujarat which was before the independence time. Gujarat was like a majors in trading, and as it has always been a wealthy state. So there was a time when Mughals and all the main trading exports of silk or diamonds, gold, silver, spices that always attracted many traders from Persia or Portuguese or Spain or Arabia, and even the English, the Britishers. So because of that, India had many dynasties fighting over it. It's not only about the foreign empires, but it was on like the inland rulers, like our kings, also wanted to rule over the state. So that you can see that the red parts, as you can see, it was the pinks are the, like it's written here, right? So Western was control of different agencies. The red part was Kathiawar. Kathiawar is called the Kutch region, or you can call it the desert region. The red part you can say in the corner is actually the white desert. That is only in Gujarat, and the next to it is one of, I think, seventh largest desert in the world, not Sahara, okay, Thar Desert. So here is my city. The red dot, as you see, is me sitting here talking to you all, and so that is my city. Vadodara is actually the third largest city in Gujarat, and also the name Vadodara, it means banyan tree, because one of the oldest trees in whole India, the one of the oldest banyan tree is present in India. It is said that the roots are so long that the roots are equal to a whole football ground. I think 22 yards or something. It was so huge. So because of that, we had our name change. It was called Baroda before, and now the modern name is Vadodara, just in honor of that. The city is known for the Lakshmi Vilas Palace, as you can see in the picture. It is a residence of the royal family, the Gaikwads. They still live here, not in the whole palace, obviously. A part of the mahal and other parts are open as a heritage site, maybe, or for shootings, or for other people who wants to visit the palace. And the second, this is the Baroda University. It is called the Maharaja Sayajirao University of Baroda. This is itself a beauty and a center of education. This building is spread over around 300 hectares in whole of Vadodara. This building is okay. The domes, as you can see, is not Mughal style, because when everyone looks at it, they feel like the architecture is Mughal architecture. What actually happened is, when the king wanted to build it, the Mughals, or maybe I can say the Muslims, actually didn't allow it because they think that this is sacred, and they didn't sacred, or maybe they can just use it in holy places. They didn't consider building this education center as the holy place. So he hired architects from all over the world and made them build it. The tomb that you can see is actually not the real tomb. A smaller tomb is built inside of it, because the architects that built him, they were included of Britishers and Indians as well. So they actually feared that the dome might break and fall. So for safety, they have built a smaller dome inside the bigger dome. Every dome is double layered for the safety of the runs. This is my university where I used to study in, which provides over, I think, all the courses that are present. And this, which you can see, is the arts and craft faculty. And the main door is called the Premanand Hall. Premanand Hall is one of the literary artists, and was a renowned not an artist, he was a novelist, you can say. In the old times, he used to write shlokas. Shlokas are religious hymns that people practice. And so in honor of that, the main building hall was named after him. Okay. As you have already seen that Baroda is actually a complete heritage city and has a special place for art and culture and sports. Baroda has their own team of cricket, Baroda Cricket Academy, and some of the players like Yusuf Pathan or something, Hardik Pandya, I don't know, you might have heard their names or not, but they have actually played in their Indian cricket teams against many good teams and brought amazing results. Um, for knowing about the people of the city or state of whole of India, we can say that our main motto is Atiti Devo Bhava. It's a Hindi phrase, which means that guests or tourists are gods, so they are actually welcomed in that way. The foods that include here are the mostly sweet food. You can say fermented fruits. Um, Basic food is chapati roti, which you might already know, and except that it includes few of the authentic delicacies that is not actually made in our homes. That is they are for special occasions, maybe some marriage or maybe a birth or something like that. Here are a few pictures which I would like to share. Like there's nothing more I can tell about the city. It is complete heritage city. Everywhere you will look, there are old buildings and old tombs and old places. There is a complete market spread over 50 hectares just with old buildings, but that is like the market area now where you can buy and sell stuff. Um, the Vadodara was actually between four walls, four gates, as you can see, but now those gates are actually come in the middle of the city and the city has spread wide from that. This is the Sardar Patel statue, which is just recently made by our Honorable Prime Minister. He is Sardar Patel. He was called as the lion heart or the person with the steel heart because there's a small thing that goes around here that he had a surgery with no anesthesia or something like that. So actually he built his body to tolerate against like he believes that if you um, how can I put it, if you can get over a certain type of pain, you will have the power to have a revolutionary mind, and that is why he was so well built, he was so strong minded and was among the best ones to fight against the Britishers for the independence of India. So this is the Somnath of India. This is one of the Shiva temples. Shiva is one of the gods. Basically, we have 14 crore gods. I cannot name them, so I know the topmost few gods like Ganesha and Shiva, the basic pictures that you see. And behind it is the Arabian Ocean or Arabian Sea. It is actually just built right above it. The area is a highland area. Like when the tidal wave comes, the half of the temple is underwater and mostly half of the city. So this temple is only open for some time, mostly in summers or something when there's no difficulty for the devotees or the disciples to come and pray. The third, um, this is the ruins I was talking about. That every area and every temple, this I do not know the name of this ruin. It is actually an abandoned spot. This is destroyed as in the story is that one of the gods were actually stolen from here and this place was abandoned, but it is a heritage site right now because of the architecture and the fine the pillars you can see are actually Prussian style pier. The right side is the basic temples that we have here. Almost all temples have such arch designs, and the floor, as you can see, is completely made of marble and it is handcrafted. Uh, this is the folk dance which we have. It is called Garba. It is the folk dance of Gujarat. Every state, that is, we have 31 states right now. The two of our states got divided because of some disputes or something. And this is the folk dance of my state. It is called Garba and it is done for 10 days in October. in the name of our holy goddess. The clothes they are wearing is the traditional type clothes, which are generally used for only just on occasion purposes. It's not worn regularly, just once a year during this festival. And these are in left side you can see this is uh, the main tomb which you can see is the Shiva temple. The middle part, as you can see, is for devotees, as in it is like a holy water in which you can it is believed, it's not like it actually rinse off your sins, but it is for the devotees to rinse off their sins. Left side is a religion called Swami Narayan. So they have these public areas where people can come and talk to the holy disciples, or maybe the people who wear the saffron clothes in India you might have seen. So such people actually come to these are public homes you can see, or maybe a public area. So they come there, the people talk to them, they talk about their problems, they pray, and they have this faith, and kind of a positive environment is always around such places. This left side, as you can see, this is again this Somnath temple which I showed, but this one is the old temple which wasn't built on the ocean. This is much smaller than that, and but they have tried to take all the architecture styles and not architecture styles, the type of domes and arches they have. This is the exact copy which they have in the new temple. And the right hand side, you can see that is again a ruin. This is an abandoned temple. Something happened with the god. There's a story. I don't know much about it. And the space you can see from which you are seeing the temple. So this is like a architecture stuff. Like from every hole you see, there are like hundreds of holes, and every hole you see, you can actually see the whole temple. So that is actually built in some exact exact length or measurement, something like that. Same happens with Taj Mahal, that from the outer gate you can actually see the whole of Mahal, but when you just step inside
Pratik,
or outside.
sorry for disturbing.
No,
We have
it's
only
done.
less than 1 minute.
It's done.
Yeah.
It's done. This
Okay.
was just
The
something
second link.
extra.
It's the second link in the chat, so you guys can join me from that and ask question from her. It's in the chat, so you can join now from that. I think this will be over now. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, what I have to do?
You can come from the second link. I have sent in WhatsApp.
Okay.
And it's in the chat also, in chat group also in here. Okay.
තියෙන්න බෑ දුවන්න